I got to put like markers down on the table on the floor so I know exactly where everything goes. That'd probably be the best. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We should probably do that.
Why not?
That'd be pretty fun.
Welcome to Sunday coffee morning.
Yeah, right. This could be a new thing for us. Sunday morning coffee with elbows tight. Dude, this would be a great live show.
Maybe if we had some interaction.
We could totally do that. You know, that's not a bad idea. Brainstorming on the spot.
Yeah, tell us your problem, and I'll tell you I don't know the answer.
Drop any question that you have in the chat, and we will for sure not give you the answer. Because we are literally going through the same problems that you are right now. What's up, John?
What's up?
Nothing much, just hanging out. It is a beautiful Sunday. John and I have our coffee. It's like 9 in the morning, 9:15 in the morning.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm drinking a double espresso. What are you drinking?
I am drinking, we have one of those barista, not barista. It's one of those espresso machines that we have. And I made a oat milk kind of latte. I don't even know. It has 2 shots of espresso with some warmed oat milk and a little bit of like sugar-free caramel sauce in it.
Why oat milk?
Because it doesn't mess with my stomach.
Oh, got you. Well, then drink more oat milk.
Yeah, because no one likes a stinky podcasting partner. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But no, yeah, and it tastes pretty good. I don't really have to add any sugar because the oat milk already has enough sugar in it, which is nice. And then it doesn't taste like black coffee. I don't mind black coffee, but black espresso is a little rough for me sometimes.
So I think it's rich, delicious.
Espresso, black espresso?
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. Oh, you just got one of those Nespresso machines, right?
Yeah, I like it. Real easy.
Yeah, you literally just drop the pod in there and then it's ready to go, right?
Yeah, and I've never used the fancy machines like you got, so I wouldn't know how to make it that way anyway.
I'm not even going to lie to you. The only reason we have it is because Loretta was a barista, family-friendly barista for a while.
Friendly family, what does that mean?
And so she like showed me how to do everything. So now I just make coffee for her too whenever I make one. I didn't make one for her this morning because I just got busy and completely forgot. Don't tell her I realized that. But
maybe,
yeah, so
maybe we need a poll to see how many of our listeners like rely on coffee or drink coffee. You know? I used to drink coffee before every class, but then I'd have to pee like the entire class, and I was like, man, it's like.
But you know what? To tell you the truth, that's a great excuse to like stop doing the warm up or like.
Yeah, oh, thank God, my belt just came untied. I'm gonna turn around for a split second here.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know if this happens to anyone at home, but sometimes you get a little gassy in class, right? And then instead of blowing ass in the middle of a roll or like on the mat, I just like, okay, we have a break-in technique. I'm going to go ahead and go use the bathroom, blow ass in the bathroom.
I don't know. I like to save it for like an emergency ballast. You know, if I need to get somebody off of me, you know, you just got to save it sometimes.
You're like, hold on a second. I'm north-south. Force the tap. No, I don't. It's some man. Because I'll roll with people sometimes. You know, you go neon belly and you press it just hard enough, and you know the little toot comes out.
Yeah,
this conversation.
I don't know where he's going with it. It started with coffee, folks. I don't know where it's going to go.
Because you're never mind. So, but speaking of class, welcome back, John. How was that first week of being back into jiu-jitsu?
Well, you know, I went to some fundamentals class so I could ease back into it, and it was nice because the warm-ups were a little bit less, but. The warm up was fine. I did have a little bit of a problem with the back rolls for some reason, maybe just not doing them in a while, and then I was worried about my shoulder and worried about rolling on it. But other than that, of course, you know, we're doing some arm drags right when we get back, so that made me a little bit nervous. But it was fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. You know what the biggest takeaway I took was from a week of fundamentals? I don't know if anyone's been doing it for a while and they just drop into the fundamentals class and see if you pick something up or maybe remember something. Was Billy talking about tying his the drawstring in your bottom? I have been doing this for years and never once thought to
square knot it.
No, to tuck the cords into the pants when you're done tying it.
Oh,
they're always like hanging out, bothering me. You know, they're always low. You're trying to pull the loops just right so they're even. And I was like, damn, how come nobody said just double knot it and put it right back into the inside of the drawstring pants?
That'd be a great first dayer.
Yes.
Part of a fundamental. Like, all right, guys, so because everyone teaches how to tie a belt, but I remember seeing a YouTube video, and I forgot what this guy's YouTube channel is, but he's a white guy. He just got promoted to purple belt a couple months ago. Well, it's probably about a year ago, but he did a YouTube video on how to tie your belt and how to wear your gi. And he was a blue belt at the time, and I was like, man, I feel like a white belt to this guy right now because he mentioned square knotted. He even mentioned how you should take pictures in your photos, or how you should take pictures in your gi. I was like, he's like, don't be doing the shaka sign if you're a white belt. I was like, I don't really know. He's like, put your hands in between your belt and this and that. And I was like, oh, this is very informational or informal YouTube video. Well, but no, it was great because he said don't tie it in a. I used to tie mine in a bow like I do my shoes. And Billy brought up a good point. He's like, don't do that because if your gi blouse comes up, someone can get their finger caught in the bows, and then they could hurt themselves. And, that's actually a really good point, Billy. Thanks for that. So,
and do you think? Does anyone know? Because I've heard different answers to this question. What side is your stripe supposed to be on when you tie your belt? Is it the right or is it the left, or does it matter? I've heard some people say it's got to be on the right. Some people say it doesn't matter, and I really don't know.
Have you heard the reasoning about why it's supposed to be on the right?
Mm-mm.
I forgot. I saw a YouTube video. It has something to do with I think it was samurais having like their sword on their right or something like that, or on their left. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it has something to do with the ranking system being on a certain side of it, if I remember correctly, which I thought was kind of interesting. But there's so many customs out there in jiu-jitsu that I'm
sure somebody's listening to this right now and they're like, it's the right side, dumbass. How do you not know that? I'm just saying, so far, every time I hear this question brought up, nobody really does.
I know. There's a lot of things. Like, do you still turn your back when you tie your belt to the mat?
It depends on who's teaching.
Yeah.
Some people are like way more formal and some aren't. Like I told you, a couple gyms I drop into, they don't bow in or bow off or none of that stuff. So it just depends.
Yeah, we line up in ranks. I've seen schools line up just around the perimeter of the gym and just have the instructor in the middle or all the black belts in the middle as they talk. Excuse me. But there's definitely some things out there. I've also, like, when we dropped in to Sonia's school, she was like episode 10 or something like that. Sonia Salin. She's her last name's not that anymore, but that's the episode. But she told me I didn't have a rash guard on underneath my gi, and she stopped me, and before we even got into class, she said, "Hey, you need to put a rash guard on." And I thought that was kind of interesting. Luckily, I just had a T-shirt. She said a T-shirt worked just fine, but it had to have something underneath. And there's some people in our school that roll with no shirt,
right.
And it doesn't really bother me any. But I definitely could see hygienically why it makes sense to have a shirt on underneath. I also seen some schools where they have to have long rash guard leggings on also underneath their gi.
And you can't wear one competing, right?
No rash guard competing, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I thought we couldn't wear that. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, you got to just chest pubes all out on everyone.
Yeah.
Be a great time to use a Manscaped.
Yeah,
and trim those chest pubes up.
Maybe leave it a little bit so you can maybe be like Velcro or something.
There
you get
you
some
go.
Friction,
you know when you go like chest to like face to chest, like you just like grind it into them a little bit. So, but what's the most shocking thing that surprised you when you came back, like good or bad?
Well, since you were my partner, you could probably see I was really struggling with the coordination pieces. Never been the most coordinated, which is kind of the reason why I got into jiu-jitsu too, is I wanted to work on that. But just remembering footwork and timing, and even though it had been so many months when we were drilling, I still wanted to go harder than we should have been. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get stuck into that. Should I roll after this class or not? Because I want to, but then at the same time, I'm like, probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but definitely just the timing piece. That's probably it. Do
you feel like you retained or lost more?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'll know until we get back to a normal class.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably roll with Sean and then realize I forgot everything. But that's fine.
How does that shoulder feel? Does it feel kind of different when you like use that arm now? Like, can you tell a difference?
Well, yeah, it feels. So normally, if I used to just let my arms just hang, my right arm or the left arm would always be like 3 inches longer than my right arm. Now they feel like they're both in the same spots, where it doesn't feel like I'm like hanging on one end.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. And if I don't do anything physical, it doesn't bother me at all. 1 week of fundamentals, and then we went fishing yesterday, which was a lot of paddling. Today it's super sore.
Yeah, we had a lot of headwind yesterday when we were on the lake too. John and I, like you mentioned before, John lives literally across the street from me. So whenever John gets a wild hair up his ass about a new hobby, he's like, "Hey, we should do this." So I bought a raft, an inflatable raft from Costco. That's a fishing raft. Actually, super legit. I used it yesterday. Super good. John has a kayak, and we went out on our lake next to our house and fished for probably about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was a nice relaxation to the end of the week. And then didn't catch anything. John got a single little nibble.
It was really bad weather, though.
Yeah. Also, any fishing professionals out there, we went probably, what was it, noon to about 1:30, 2 o'clock, which is not the prime time to go fishing.
Or is it, and we just don't know what the hell we're doing?
Yeah.
Feel free to let us know.
Yeah, we're going for the shaded areas where fish is usually like, we're not brand new to fishing. We spent that whole week on Snake River fishing and learned a lot.
It was high winds though too, so I don't know if that plays into anything.
Yeah. You guys let us know if you're a fishing aficionado. Isn't that the word, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. DM me if I sound stupid. But no, it was a lot of fun, and it was a good little exercise. I was actually super exhausted by the end of the day. It was like, when did I leave your house? 6:30?
Yeah,
6
probably.
o'clock? And I put my middle kid down for the night, and I was tired, man. I came downstairs and almost fell asleep on the freaking couch at like 7 p.m., man.
It's a good workout. I don't know if people ever try that, but go paddling and do it for a couple hours. You get a pretty good workout.
Yeah, especially because, like we were saying, we fought that wind the whole freaking time. And my raft might as well have been a sail. It was just taking every bit of that. Oh, my anchor comes today, though.
Oh, see, that's nice.
Yeah. What do you guys do for activities outside of jiu-jitsu for relaxation? Because I don't know, I can only think about jiu-jitsu so much for so long before I'm like, all right, I need to do something else. And having this podcast, we think about it a lot, but it's definitely really nice to get out and go do something that doesn't involve martial arts or involve me thinking too much. And fishing is one of those things. Growing up, I was like, man, fishing is so boring. Like, you literally just sit there. Now when we go, I'm like, this is so amazing.
Yeah, now you're like, oh, just because that's all you're focused on is that one thing. You know, it's kind of probably the same thing when you're rolling or doing jiu-jitsu. You're
meditative.
Focusing on that one thing, and all your attention's there, and it's just relaxing.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So it's nice going out and doing something different. Unfortunately, your shoulder is just like all jacked up from it. But you're going to start doing fundamentals again this week, or you're going to come back to actual class? I
don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna play it by ear. If Monday feels good, I'll go to fundamentals. If it doesn't, then I'll probably go to Tuesday's class.
Why don't you just do fundamentals and normal class?
Well, bro, see, that's when you do too much. Then you get burnt out. I got to ease back into it.
Bro, you had your shoulder sling off after like 4 weeks.
Well, let's just remember the only one that's cleared me for this activity is myself. So I'm gonna go back in slow.
When do you actually get cleared by your doctor?
I think I was supposed to go about 8 weeks ago, but that never happened.
Why didn't you go?
Well, it's a long story.
Snitch on yourself, Jonathan. Why didn't you go?
It's a long story. I don't know if people have. I'm sure most people have insurance, but it doesn't help that much. I think every physical therapy visit still cost me almost $300. That's after insurance. So after you do, 8 or 9 physical therapy appointments, and that starts adding up, you're like, yeah, I think I can just do my own recovery at this point.
That's crazy. That's super expensive.
Yeah.
Speaking of medical, I am officially working with Dr. Neil Morris.
That's good. You need it.
Is that? I don't know how to take that.
What do you mean? Just take it however you want to take it. What?
No, because there's a subliminal message there, Jonathan.
It's not. I'm just, I'm sure he'll get your hormones in check, and you'll be more energetic and less moody. It's probably good.
See, there it is. That's what it was. Now he's making fun of me.
I'm not at all.
Why are you smirking so hard?
I'm not. It's what is it? He'll probably fix the menopause for you, and then you're good to go.
Jesus Christ, here we go. I fucking knew it was coming. I fucking knew it. I was like, there's something behind John saying this.
Not at all.
No, but my wife and I are actually working with him. And after just the interview, I was telling him, the things like I'm tired in the morning, tired in the afternoon, hard to lose gut weight. Because I did like a 8 to 10 week cut to try to, and I was like pretty freaking strict on it too. And exercising, did the Peloton, did jiu-jitsu. I didn't do CrossFit. I probably should have did CrossFit. Probably would have helped out more. But in a caloric deficit for a while and did refeedings. I mean, I did it all, like, because, you know, I had help from, like, our Cody. I would always ask him questions like, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? And after telling him all that stuff, he's like, yeah, no, it sounds like your testosterone's low, which is the reason why it's hard for you to lose gut weight. You have, you know, hard time sleeping. Your what's the stress hormone?
Cortisol?
Cortisol. Your cortisol levels are probably through the roof. And I was like, dang, man. So I got to just go get my lab work done. Just go to the LabCorp. But you were telling me that shit's still expensive just to get your blood work done.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, after that Neil Morris episode, I did go buy the supplements he said to buy.
I knew.
Just buy it over the counter. And, I mean, I've taken them. I do like a real super clean multivitamin now. And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but whichever one he said was to help with the stress and your thyroid, I bought that one too.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me that list, or I'll have to go back and listen to that episode again. Let us know if you guys listen to that episode. I think that was probably one of the most informative episodes we've had about, like, self-reflection and, like, what's going on with my body, obviously, because, I mean, he's the only doctor that we had on. But it really, I did a lot of introspective like analysis of like what's going on with my body. And, you know, I was just talking about this with one of our newer guys. He's a white belt, but he's 35 years old, and he listened to the episode, and he's been trying to get his hormones done by his military doctor. He's in the Coast Guard, and they're like, well, you're in your mid 30s. You don't show any signs of being low T. We're not going to do your blood work. And he's like, look, every list that says, like, you have low T, I check almost every box. Like, how does that not tell you that I have low T? And his doctor's like, oh, well, we're not going to do it. Those tests aren't that accurate anyways. And so I'm like, so maybe it's time for you to go to an outside doctor, man.
Yeah, highly recommend just go to an outside doctor.
Yeah. Because, well, I don't remember how it worked with military when I was in the military, if I could use outside doctors. And
I mean, you could use them. You're just paying for it yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say, right? It's like pretty much you pay 100% for it.
Right.
So, but I don't know. Have you guys thought about doing your blood work yet? I know we got hit up by a couple people that said that they listened to the episode and they were like, man, this made me realize, like, my body's not okay.
Well, when you were doing all that cutting, how was your energy level for jiu-jitsu? Was it better?
No. I was dying in rolls, like, even faster. I rolled with Sean's son, and it was like 30 seconds in, I was tapping to just like straight. I didn't tap, but I was super exhausted.
Well, his son's pretty good too.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point now where I can't really roll more than 3 times without just being like fucking dead, dude. Not even if I go hard, like I'm just fucking exhausted, man. And it sucks because I know when we were like white belts, we could go a whole hour.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
well, a lot of the difference then too was a lot of that we had traveled, so we were pretty well rested.
Yeah,
it was just us. You know, you didn't have to worry about family and all the family life stuff. So a little bit different.
Agreed. And having a newborn, and she sleeps really good for a newborn. You know, she still wakes up every couple hours to feed. But I'm getting better sleep, but it's still not nearly what it should be. So, but I'll get there. Hopefully this helps out. Lauderdale's going to get her blood work done too. And so hopefully we both can get back on track to being jacked as shit.
There you go. You can buy stuff that'll help you out with that, you know?
Yeah. The golden pill is what we call it. You know?
I'm sure you can find it online. You know?
Yeah. I could just start taking like horse tranquilizers and
yeah, there you go. There's probably some competitors you can ask out there.
Hey, in the jiu-jitsu world, who supplies you your gear?
No doubt.
Oh, that was another interesting thing. Apparently, did you see that IBJJF is like starting now to try to get a little more strict on their anti-doping?
No.
Yeah, I think this was a couple months ago. They brought it out saying, like, you know, they're not for cheating and steroids in the sport and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. Like, I kind of go back and forth about the use of steroids in professional sports. I think I understand why they wouldn't want to promote athletes using steroids, because then, kids at younger ages are going to start using them. Like, they're going to think that's the only way that they can get into the professional scene, whether it's jiu-jitsu, football, basketball, whatever it is. But I also think they have some of the smartest doctors in the world. They're constantly being monitored. Like, let them do it. Let them do it, and then have like super like sensitive medical procedures for it, or they have to be evaluated way more often. You know what I mean? I kind of go back and forth about it. What about you?
I think Russell Crowe said it best when he's like, "Are you not entertained?"
That's true.
If they want steroids, give it to them.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Juice to the
juice
gills.
It up. If I'm gonna watch two behemoths that are juiced out of their minds, whatever, I'm good with it. If one of them's not, and they win, that's just more respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of like the UFC pre-USADA. Like, they were like just jacked.
Yeah.
man.
So remember when baseball was? I say was. It still is to me, but it was super boring in the '90s. And then all of a sudden, they had all these people hitting home runs through the parks, hitting 100 a season. And,
smashing records.
I mean, have you looked at Jose Canseco, how big that guy was? I mean, steroids is great for sports.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need it. They just need that shot.
I know. And baseball needs more than steroids to be entertaining. Holy shit, that sport is boring to watch.
Fun to play. But, man, I'm telling you, maybe it's just watching the Mariners that they're so boring. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't mind going in person. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to go see a baseball game in person, have a couple beers.
Yeah, $12 a piece for a Budweiser. Fantastic.
Yeah, I just sneak my shit in. Like, no, it's my kid's bottle. It's their milk.
Yeah.
No, but it's definitely fun going in person. But, man, watching it on TV is boring. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this.
Oh, we are, for sure.
Not only baseball. Jiu-jitsu is so freaking boring to watch. Competitive jiu-jitsu. If you watch,
I'm not bored watching that.
Really, man, it's just really not my thing. I try watching matches and stuff like that, and a lot of the times I feel like it's a point game, or people are just holding positions or waiting to like the last minute to do something. Sometimes it is very entertaining, but it's just really not for me, man. I tried watching it. I watched like high rollers and some other things on YouTube, and I don't know. It's just not really my thing.
That's why I mean, really, I only watch the combat jiu-jittu.
Yeah, but that's different because it's like forced to action. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't think it's forced. I think it's more realistic.
Yeah.
Because, a lot, like I said, right, they're getting slapped as hard as they can upside the face, and they're trying to pull guard and then get hit because, right, if you're laying down, you can get hit.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's way more realistic.
Do you know who Gary Tonin is?
Sounds familiar.
He is a John Danaher black belt. He was part of the DDS, Danaher Death Squad. Mm-hmm. He's a Pride or a 1FC fighter now. He went to fight for the championship in 1FC. Went for a couple leg locks in the first round and ended up getting knocked out. Right. And so everyone was making fun of him for, they're like, oh, that's why you can't do leg locks in MMA. You can't do leg locks don't work in MMA. Despite the fact that he won almost every one of his fights before that with a heel hook or leg lock or something like that, right? But he posted something on Instagram. He's all like, leg locks do work in MMA, but so does good leg lock defense. Right? It's like you can't. His leg locks work in MMA, right? But if the person knows leg locks or how to defend them, that also works. You know what I mean? It's really just like who's going to get to it first, whether they're going to defend it or get the submission. But it's like I just saw a couple weeks ago, I forgot what his name was, but he hit a third knee bar in the UFC. He holds the records for the most knee bars submissions in the UFC, and he's only been in the UFC a couple of years.
Wow.
But it's like that stuff works. It's just like anything. It's timing, and your timing's off right now.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll come back in a year or two. I'm not worried about it. No biggie. Just in time for that second stripe. We'll get it.
No, I'm excited for you to come back to actual real classes, man. Well, I don't want to say real class. That's kind of fucked up to say. But like the advanced classes, what we're calling it now. Because it's fun, I'll be your partner.
Do you want to talk about that awesome UFC fight we watched at all?
Which one?
That Rose fight, the title fight.
I thought you said awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait for the third one.
Man,
No,
no.
you didn't think that was exciting?
That was probably the most exhilarating UFC fight I've ever seen. Not only that, but what sucks, and they brought it up on the commentary too. Everyone was so pumped because Rose Namajunas is such a badass fighter. They were like amped, and they're like, "Oh, it's a rematch," blah blah blah, and then they start fighting, and there was no fighting, and it's like there was no fighting, and then there was no fighting, and it's like if you were to bring your casual friends into this, like, bro, this fight's gonna be good. Rose Namajunas,
Yes.
she's like just destroying girls, like knocking them out, like
That fight, they're going to be like, I'd rather watch baseball. I mean, that's
I'd rather watch paint dry.
yeah.
But if you were to bring your friend in on that, and then you're like, no, she's good, just watch. And then they're like, this fucking sucks. Like, no, just next round. She's just feeling her out.
That was horrible.
Yeah, really bad. But then that Justin Gaethje,
That was awesome.
Charles Oliveira fight, that was dope.
Yeah, that was really good.
That
But
was really
I was
good.
going to ask, do you think they should get, so if you don't score at all, it's 10 points? They each get 10 points?
So that was the thing, is people were saying that,
Like, why
should have been
get
that first round should have been a 10-10.
Why not 0-0?
No one.
Like, that's why I was like, why any points? Did
Yeah.
they just get them for showing up? Because, I mean, but anyway. In case you guys don't know, I don't watch as much or know as much about fighters as Travis does. When I grew up, it was all about boxing, so that's all I really watched was a lot of heavyweight boxers and middleweights and all that. But that was Rosa's third fight I've watched. In the first two, I was like, man, they were exciting.
Yeah.
That one, not so much.
Not so much. That's the thing, is like you expect something, and then when
Yeah,
it
I was
doesn't
like-
happen. What was even funnier, if you guys had watched that fight, then you saw at the end Rose was like celebrating, and she's like, "Yeah, high five!" And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Like,
Yeah, that
this
was-
is not.
And I was telling my wife about the last fight. I was like, yeah, it was over in the first round, like, what, a minute and a half in it, I think, something like that. And she was like, oh, that's too fast. And look, I grew up watching Tyson fights when you had to pay for pay-per-view. And those fights were over in about 10 seconds. You'd spend $150 to watch a fight that was over in 10 seconds.
Yeah. You know what? People didn't pay to watch Tyson fight. They paid for the chance to watch him lose.
Yeah, you're
You know what
absolutely right.
They didn't. They knew like it's gonna be a quick knockout. Like when you're so like kind of like a Kamaru Usman, Khabib Nurmagomedov, like all these people that are just like so good. People don't really pay to watch them win or watch them fight. They're just paying to be to see them possibly lose. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, who's going to dethrone this person?
I was like, somebody's got to do it. Come on, Buster Douglas. Somebody, you got it. Yeah, I used to love watching boxing. We used to watch it every weekend.
Do you have Showtime, don't you?
I don't think we have it right now. No.
Showtime has boxing on it, so if you want to watch it. The only problem with boxing that I have with is there's so many belts and federations or organizations within boxing. It's like, this person is the ICBM FWCQ welterweight champion of the world. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that means, bro. Like, they have like 16 plastic belts. You know what I mean? So the only time I really watch boxing is when it's like a big name fighter fighting another big name fighter. Canelo Alvarez just lost.
I know.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I really stopped watching it when I couldn't tell if it was legit anymore or not. Like, I couldn't tell if any fights. I'm not even joking, because it used to be was his name Don King? Who was Tyson's?
Yeah, Don King.
Because they would have the same. You'd have one promoter, and it'd be both their fighters fighting, and I'm like, come on, how does this work? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you couldn't really tell. You just lost a little faith and confidence on it. Is all.
Yeah. And there's just like so many fighters in boxing also. It's like, I don't know who this person is. Are they up and coming? Like,
And you'd watch a fight and clearly know who the winner is, right? And it'd be the other guy. You're like, what?
That doesn't make sense.
No way.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
And if UFC ever gets like that, then I'll probably stop watching it as well.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch more MMA outside of the UFC, like Bellator. There's a whole bunch of other organizations that have a lot of fighters. I saw something on Instagram or Twitter a couple weeks ago, and it was from the Anatomy of the Fighter, the guy that does all the documentaries.
Right, yeah, I've seen it.
And Williams something, But he said if you think the UFC has all the best fighters in the world, then you're an idiot, right? Because Bellator has a lot of good fighters. There's a lot of organizations out there that have a lot of good fighters, and they're not all in the UFC, right? Like look at Paddy Pimblett. He's coming to the UFC and he's just destroying his last 2 fights. So it's like there's other people out there that aren't in the UFC that can do really good. Michael Chandler, he was in Bellator. He was the lightweight champ in Bellator, and he's coming over and he's just putting out banger fights, man. That fight with Justin Gaethje, that was so good, man.
I know.
He's like, did you hear in his post-fight interview? He's like, or was it maybe the conference afterwards? But they're like, Michael, what did the game plan change or something like that? He's like, yeah, he started hitting me with some shit, and I realized I had to switch my plans.
Hey, he was connecting right away.
I was like, damn, just like Tony Ferguson, like that man is just laying into him. So hopefully El Kukui will get another win here somewhere soon. He hasn't.
That was such a hard kick.
I think Michael Chandler is the only person to win a fight. Nope. I take that back. Michael Johnson just won his fight this weekend by knockout. But after losing to Gaethje, I think Gaethje has the most people that just continue to lose after losing to him. Like James Vick went 0-5 after losing to Gaethje.
Wow.
0-4. 5-fight lose streak and then ended up retiring. Tony Ferguson hasn't won a fight since. Michael Johnson just won a fight finally. Who else has lost to him? They just don't do good. Maybe it's because they're like
Cerrone.
Yep, Donald Cerrone hasn't won a fight since.
How many fights do you think you lose before you decide like, all right, it's probably time?
I think 5 is like what most people. Well, usually 3 in a row in the UFC and they're cut.
Because you ever notice like once they get knocked out or knocked down, it seems like they're really prone to it after that.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like that's when I watch Cowboy. That's how I feel with him. It's like when you watch somebody box too long and they barely get hit and they're out.
Yeah.
It's like
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And at that point, you kind of got to do some like looking at yourself. Like, should I continue to do this?
It's like you never had a concussion. You get one, and then you're prone to them really easily.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, maybe I should stop fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is, right? They say in fighting, once you get your bell rang, like you're more prone to it happening to you. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd have to be worried about it if it's never happened before, and then it happens. Your confidence has to be shook.
Yeah, like Luke Rockhold after he got knocked out by Michael Bisping. Like he's only won 1 fight since losing the belt. So and he's about to fight. Oh shit, who's he about to fight? I freaking completely forgot who he's about to fight, but he's got a fight coming up too, which would be a good one. But I don't know, man. I just stick to the casual stuff most time, but also I use Reddit to look at Reddit MMA. They post clips of the fights and how they win afterwards. So if it's like a knockout, a lot of the times I won't even pay for the pay-per-view or watch it, and I'll just go to Reddit and go
That's
watch
smart.
the stuff
Smart.
in Reddit. And TikTok, if you guys don't know this, TikTok sometimes has people streaming the fights on TikTok.
I want some more entertainment. I want something like fan versus favorite. So you know what I mean? You'd have like some fan go up against one of these MMA guys, the ones that are the most outspoken. That's some shit I want to pay to watch.
Bro, why would you watch that? They're just going to get destroyed.
It'd be great to watch.
Yeah.
I would find it entertaining.
I don't know. It'd be interesting because what happens if the MMA fighter were to lose?
Well, then they did.
You know what I'm saying?
I would find it entertaining.
Yeah, but I don't know. What else is going on, John?
That's about it. Back to jiu-jitsu. Try to get in some better shape. Decided I'm probably not going to compete ever again. Just normal stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How's personal health going?
Good. I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
I think hopefully I don't ever get COVID again. That'd be the 3rd time that I have to be immune by then.
That's right, dude. You just got over being sick really bad too.
Yeah.
Before our last interview with the new grip, John was like sick as a dog.
Yeah, but I don't know. Everybody was getting sick. I think just everything's out, waiting to be picked up now after everybody's worn a mask for years.
I know. And that's the thing. Is like we're like, oh well, people are more likely to get sick, and allergies are probably going to be worse this year because people are starting to hang out with each other more and taking masks off and going outside and whatnot. So you got to keep that personal hygiene nice and tight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Kind of like with a Manscaped.
I did get to wear the Manscaped with the anti-chaffing for those.
Isn't that shit legit?
It is legit. People would probably like it. It is legit.
Yeah. I used my weed whacker for the first time last week.
Really?
Yeah. I've never used a nose hair trimmer before, and so it's kind of weird. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, like, I haven't got any, like, real boogies in my nose. It's pretty nice. And if you use code ETP20 at checkout, you get free shipping and 20% off. Just throwing that out there.
Well, it's a lot better than, for any fans of The Great Outdoors, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, my favorite movie of all time. I don't know if you remember that scene in there where Dan's in the bathroom and he's like trying to pry his nose open and he's got scissors and he's trying to trim and the two kids are just standing behind him like, what the hell's this guy doing?
Don't be that guy. I remember
don't be that guy.
I got a male grooming kit one time, and this is why I was like, I'm just going to start using this weed whacker because it was a nose hair trimmer, and I knew it was a nose hair trimmer because it had like bumpers on the outside of the blades, like half circles, so that way you can touch your nose and not like go too big or go too wide in your nose and maybe clip something. That was real interesting, but I never used those. But the weed whacker was pretty legit. So, and we have some new products that we have to review and talk about. Also, the Ultimate Smooth Kit. It has the gel to shave. It has a razor blade, and we'll have a couple things to say about that here soon. We just gotta. We'll probably do an unboxing video about that.
Maybe there you go.
Maybe
that
we'll
would
do an
be
unboxing
good.
video about that. Put it up on the YouTubes. So, but
maybe you can even video using it, for the guests. Just
like I'll do an
on the arm or something.
Yeah, I'll use it like a pair of oranges. I'll shave a pair.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Maybe we can get 2 peaches. Shave the peach.
Right. So if you guys haven't used Manscaped yet, they have a whole bunch of good things on there. The boxers are great. The Ultimate Package is amazing. You also get the newspaper, the disposable newspaper pads to collect all the hair and everything like that. Trust me, more people are going to thank you than you think if you have some crazy chest hairs, and you can use code ETP20 at checkout for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. So it's a great product. You guys should definitely go check them out. And we stand by our Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
As will your training partner.
I actually used my trimmers last note. I actually used the trimmers on my face too, not the ones that I used on my balls.
Right.
Not.
That's what I'd say on camera as well.
Maybe they were the same ones.
Yeah.
Shit. I thought that was a mustache hair. But use the code ETP20 at checkout. So, John, you got anything else, man?
No, man. I'm good. Time to refill the coffee and get ready for the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go edit some podcasts right now and hang out with the fam bam and have a good Sunday. So thank you guys so much for listening at home. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you for all the support. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram, Elbows Tight, on YouTube, Elbows Tight Podcast. Just look up Elbows Tight and we'll pop up everywhere. That, and if you have tennis elbow, you'll get some information on that. But also, if you guys want a patch, we have patches. Everything will be down in the description below or in our Instagram profile or everywhere you find us. You can find our P.O. box. Send us a patch. We'll send you one back. And other than that, I don't really have anything else, John.
Me neither. No oil checks here.
Os. Thanks, guys. Peace.